Have you ever noticed how much reality is limited by what you can see and touch? The truth is, reality is not just what you can see, and it's not just what you can touch in what we call the third dimension. For example, did you know that Albert Einstein, in his theory of general relativity, he proposed that the universe is actually 4 dimensions, not 3 dimensions. So imagine being able to think just beyond now. Instead, reaching into the future with your thoughts, that's 4th dimensional thinking. So it's more than just what's happening today or what happened yesterday or what you can see. It's more than just what you can touch. This is how great inventors and artists have changed the world. They saw what could be, not just what was. So 4th dimensional thinking is a hidden science proven by the likes of Albert Einstein and used by some of the most successful people in the world today, which you're about to find out. And it allows you to bend reality and reshape your life with your mind. Now, it's not science fiction. It's about understanding how the material world operates so you can improve your relationships, increase your finances, and achieve the goals that you might think are impossible to reach. So it's a way to free yourself from limiting beliefs that are holding you back and free yourself from your 3rd dimensional material circumstances that have you feeling stuck right now in life. And I know that kind of sounds too good to be true, right? Who wouldn't want that? But how do you do it? Now, before I show you how to actually do this and enter 4th dimensional thinking, let's look at the dimensions of reality more closely. So first, you have 3rd dimensional thinking. This is linear and time-bound. It's everyday thinking that's focused on the immediate, the tangible, the physical world that you see and feel with your 5 senses. In 3rd dimensional thinking, your decisions, your beliefs, your perceptions, it's all based off of your past experiences and your present reality. So for example, if you're trying to lose weight, 3rd dimensional thinking is focusing on your diet, on your exercise plan, your current weight, and your past attempts that could have been unsuccessful, maybe even your genes. Not your genes you wear, but your genetics. So making more money. 3rd dimensional thinking is focusing on what you think you can do based off of how much money you're currently making or what's in your bank account, or how much money you've made in the past, or how much money anyone you know made. You're trying to achieve your financial goal that's greater than what you've ever seen or personally experienced in the material world, but you're doing it from that old level of thinking, right? And the problem with this is you cannot create more than the 3rd dimension. So this thinking is solely focused on things like working harder, on how many hours are in a day, but there's only 24 hours in a day. You can only manage your time so well. So 3rd dimensional thinking is inherently limiting, and it's stopping you from changing your future and creating what you really desire. And this is where 4th dimensional thinking comes into play, because it transcends time and space. It transcends everything that you can see. It's less about physical reality and it's more about potentialities. So in the weight loss example, 4th dimensional thinking would involve visualizing your future self in the desired state, feeling the emotions associated with that success, and then understanding how your current actions connect to future outcomes. And that new thought process actually stimulates new genes and new cells in your body. It's pretty cool. 4th dimensional thinking would involve with money. To detach from what you can see, understanding that the money that you want already exists. And this is where quantum physics actually comes into play. And it's pretty cool because quantum physics introduces concepts like entanglement, superposition, the observer effect. And this shows us that at a fundamental level, reality isn't fixed like we think it is in the 3rd dimension. It shows us that your perception itself can affect the outcome of how reality appears. So in 4th dimensional thinking, this translates to the idea that by visualizing and focusing on a particular outcome, like the success of a goal or something that you want, you can influence its manifestation down to the subatomic level. Well, logically speaking, science shows us every single thing is energy, right? Energy can never be created or destroyed. That's what science says. It can only be transferred into different states, like water can go from liquid to solid to ether, gas. Then the same exact reasoning, everything that you want that you currently can't see is just energy in a non-physical fourth dimensional state, because energy is never created or destroyed. It can only be transferred into new states or manifestations by the act of conscious observation, or what quantum physics called the observer effect. And that is fourth dimensional thinking. So in fourth dimensional thinking, visualization and imagination is what comes into play. And Albert Einstein once said that imagination is actually more important than knowledge, that knowledge is limited, that imagination encircles the world. This is really a perfect glimpse into how to move from third dimensional to fourth dimensional thinking. And this opens up the keys to your life. Steve Jobs did it when he created Apple. He used visualization to enter fourth dimensional thinking, and he saw future potentiality where personal computers and iPhones were the norm, right? So another example, the famous NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers, he used fourth dimensional thinking to actually win a Super Bowl in 2011. In a playoff game that year, Rodgers actually completed 31 of 36 passes against the Atlanta Falcons. That's fifth best completion percentage by a quarterback in NFL history. So after the game, he's asked about it, and he said that his sixth grade coach taught him the importance of visualizing specific scenarios before the game would happen. And he had an exact quote. He said, "When I'm in a meeting, when I'm watching film, when I'm lying in bed before I go to sleep, I always visualize making those plays. A lot of those plays that I made in the game, I had imagined before. I lay on my couch and I visualize making them." Now, the crazy thing is Rodgers even spun out of 3 potential sacks in that game. And then he said after the game that he visualized getting out of those exact sacks. And the truth is that almost every single highly successful person is using fourth dimensional thinking, and they're practicing visualization, right? It's not just something that new age things, right? It's just that your average person doesn't understand. So you got Tiger Woods, you've got Taylor Swift, Dwayne Johnson, legendary golfer Jack Nicklaus. He even said in his autobiography, quote, "I never hit a shot without practice. First, a sharp focused picture in my head. It's like a color movie. I see the ball where I want it to finish, nice and white, sitting up high on the bright green grass. Then the scene quickly changes and I see the ball going there, its path, trajectory, and shape, even its behavior on landing. There's sort of a fade out, and then the next scene shows me making the kind of swing that will turn the previous images into reality. Only at the end of the short, private Hollywood spectacular do I select a club and step up to hit the ball." So visualization is not a practice of just like daydreaming. It's not just wishful thinking. It's an immersive experience where you live in the result in your mind, creating a vivid, emotional, sensory-rich picture of your future desire that not only prepares your mind, but neuroscientific studies actually show it primes your brain, it creates new cells of recognition and new neural connections. So then the question is, how do you do it? How do you start thinking in the fourth dimension? So first, mindfulness, right? So this is what keeps you grounded. So your old thoughts don't come in and then you're wandering into the past and the future of the worst case scenario. You can practice meditation, deep breathing. What you want to do is get your body totally relaxed. Sitting in a comfortable chair, your body totally relaxes. And then that relaxation allows you to disassociate from your 5 senses and the current reality. So the more you detach from third dimensional thinking in your 5 senses, the more you open up the door. So this is where imagination becomes very powerful, because once you've disassociated from your 5 senses and you can use imagination, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. And that's why it's so powerful. It's really cool if you think about it. So You push yourself out of your comfort zone, you suspend your disbelief, you make a little game where you test how much of your reality is actually shaped by your thoughts and beliefs. Test how many positive affirmations can you actually say in a day, and then see what happens in your world as a direct result of this conscious focus. So when you make it a little game, that's when it starts to get amazing. So you can see when you sit down to visualize, see if you can make it so real that you actually form like tears of joy. Like you step into your new house in your mind, can you create tears of joy when you imagine retiring your mom or your dad, or paying for your neighbor's kid's cancer because they lost their job and their insurance won't cover it? So you're leaving behind third dimensional awareness, and then you can start to create your own reality. The key here is consistency. The more you practice thinking in 4 dimensions, and the more you mentally rehearse what you intend to manifest here in 3rd dimension, the more you actually speed up the process. So one of the biggest tools to do this during your 4th dimensional thinking time, so you stop going into the old linear thinking patterns, is some form of success hypnosis. And I have a free success hypnosis, it's right there down below. It's an MP3, it's pinned to the comments and in the description. Now what I do is I turn this on, and then I start to practice entering 4th dimensional thinking. And that's when everything seems to start to work out perfectly for me, right? You can actually download it for free right there down below. It's pinned to the comments and in the description. You turn it on, you disassociate, you relax your body, and then you practice entering what you want, just like Aaron Rodgers did. Or what I do, when I was trying to make my YouTube channel blow up, what I first did, I had like 5,000 subscribers, nothing was working. I created an exact scenario of what would happen if it had occurred. So I enter 4th dimensional thinking, and then what would it look like? Okay, well, I'd sit down at the computer, I'd shake the mouse, I'd refresh the browser, and holy crap, it went viral. Let me go tell my wife, holy crap, everything went viral. Well, the crazy thing is I would do that and just rehearse it in my head until I could feel the emotion as if it was in my nervous system of me jumping up and down while I'm letting the success hypnosis play. The crazy thing is I was not having any progress, but I was doing this every single day. And then my wife and I went camping, and we went camping in a place that didn't have cell service. So after like 2 or 3 days, we had to go back into a little coffee shop so I could publish a new YouTube video. So she waited in line so she could get us a coffee. I sat down at the computer, punched in their Wi-Fi code, refreshed my browser, and my channel went viral. So it went viral on videos that already existed, that were out there, that weren't doing anything. And during that couple days when I had no service or no internet connection, they randomly started going viral. And in that year, I got like 100 or 200,000 subscribers. That just kind of happened like that because it already exists. Because everything's energy, all the energy that ever was and ever will be already exists. It's 100% evenly present at all places at all times. Energy can only be transferred into new states. So what you want wants you, and what you want already exists. It's just in a dimension, 4th dimension, outside of what you can see, and it can come into form via the laws of physics, quantum physics, that shows us that the observation of something before it occurs causes atoms and subatomic particles to be rearranged. So it's actually a really simple process that seems complicated because it's like 3rd dimension and 4th dimension. So give this a try. 4th dimensional thinking. This is a very powerful technique that you can start to use. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoy it, give me a comment down below. This is I create my reality. Hit the subscribe, bell notification, get my free success hypnosis right there down below, and start to use this and do a test. Does this work? Really test it. Suspend your disbelief. You have nothing to lose and you have everything to gain, and what you're going to find is, damn, I'm a lot more powerful than I think I am. So if you enjoyed this video, click right here to watch another, and I'll see you on the next one.